All right, so I was having a conversation with a person who check out the podcast. She's from Pakistan, and she was telling me how in her culture, marriage is an automatic thing. Having children is an automatic thing. It's not something that people wonder about. It's not something people have to think whether they want to do it or not. But in Black culture, I get on Facebook every day and see the question: is marriage still the goal? Right. Or we see people talking about if they're gonna be single forever, or if they're gonna have kids and things like that. And it make me think about our culture and the fact that we kind of lack culture. We kind of lack a moral code or a guide as to the decisions, the big decisions we should make in life. Right. And it's all very individual based. Like people do what's best for them and not what's best for the community. And there's no set standard. And we often end up debating things that should be standard, like who should pay bills and all this other shit that we debate. And almost any other culture, is the expectation is already set and taught and passed down. And I think that that's one of the big things that's holding us back as a culture. So I want to talk about the lack of culture in the Black community and how it affects relationships. All right. Just different. Welcome to Terry Roseland Podcast, man. We got a guest on the show today. My boy Omar. You want to introduce yourself to the people?
My name is Omar Kofi Denta. I'm Ghanaian descent. I'm a fashion designer, and I give back to underprivileged communities.
For sure. And Kam is here.
Kam's here.
Can we get a Killer Cocktail like promo? They be telling us what's going on with Killer Cocktails, but we get like having a nice summer day. Get you a Killer Cocktail. Can we get like a
facts? I do need to.
You gonna freestyle one right now?
No.
Practice.
I do need a commercial though, so I'm getting the details together for that.
For sure.
It's gonna be a club scene commercial. Some real slash shit.
Yeah. Boogie Ogoon is here. Precious Gods is here. And Real Duncan is on the boards today. All right. Let's go, man. Let's get into it. So this the thing, right? Let's back up a little bit before we even go into how the lack of culture affect relationships and talk about the term pro-Black and what that really means. And do it need to be redefined? Because to me, it's too easy access. Like people could just say they're pro-Black and they're pro-Black just because. You could be saying I'm pro-Black and I'm married to a white woman. I'm pro-Black and I don't do really nothing to support the Black community. I'm Black and I like Black people, so I'm pro-Black. Right. There's no standard for what being pro-Black actually is. And to me, in my opinion, being pro-Black, because we could go off dictionary definitions and shit like that, and it's damn that white motherfucker who wrote that definition. But you know what I'm saying? For me, being pro-Black is putting the needs of the community before your own needs. I feel like if you're not doing that, you're not pro-Black. And I feel like if you're not pro-Black, there's nothing wrong with you not being pro-Black, because it's a political decision. It's not just a racial decision. It's bigger than that. You know what I'm saying? So, for example, if you feel like it's a little bit more convenient to go shop at Walmart or this white-owned establishment versus driving a little further and paying a little more to shop at this Black establishment, if you go out the way to do that, that's some pro-Black shit to do. For sure. But if you just go with the easier convenience, then that's not pro-Black. And that's okay, too, because that might be just where you are right now. You know what I'm saying? And I just feel like the community has a lot of needs that the average person not meeting, but still saying they pro-Black. If the whole every Black neighborhood in Chicago is for sale right now, but as soon as niggas get some money, they downtown living by white people. Right. You know what I'm saying? Because you rather live downtown than live in the hood. That's sure. That's not pro-Black. You feel like like the pro-Black thing to do, what your community needs is for you to marry a Black person, right, and have a Black child. Mm-hmm. But you might feel like, well, I don't want to get married, or I don't want to have kids. So you putting your needs and your wants over what's best for your community, which is fair. That's your decision, but I don't think you get to call yourself pro-Black if you're doing that. Exactly. What's y'all opinion of pro-Black?
To be honest, I definitely think that pro-Black means that you doing everything Black. I think that with all, especially like within the last 5 years, like all the racial shit that's been going on. I mean, it's been going on forever, but I feel like within the last 5-6 years, let's just say maybe since the Trayvon shit, I think that Black people, we take our power back in that instance, but we can't maintain the power. Right. So we could loot, we could fight, we could do all that shit, but we can't keep doing that shit. So I think that due to the fact that we can't keep fighting back, I think that pro-Blackness comes that's where it comes in, where it's like, okay, I have to only support my people then, period. There's no stepping outside the box. There's no convenience. The convenience is being pro-black. And being pro-black is hardest to do when you're black.
Yeah.
Like a white person could be like, I'm pro-black, like Black Lives Matter. And motherfuckers be, yeah, Amy, you can come to the cookout. We fucks with you. Like, no, turn to your brother, your next door neighbor. And that's who you need to be worried about being pro-black, because that's the only time it matters.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think we had the easiest culture to infiltrate. Everybody, and you sing a song, you invited to the cookout.
You can do this dance. Oh my God, shit! You got a little rhythm. You can come to the cookout.
You actually fresh. You put an outfit together with some mics. You at the cookout.
So look how easily we give away what we fighting so hard for.
For sure. So my definition of pro-black would be, you know how FUBU used to be back in the day, for us, by us. I believe in that. I also believe that it's actually building up your neighborhood. So we don't own any liquor stores. I mean, we own liquor stores and we own churches. We don't own any perspective of hospitals for like helping ourselves, as far as like if somebody gets shot, you got to wait 25 minutes for them to even get you off whole. You know what I'm saying? Or when you're in the hospital, you don't have anybody to really attend to you. We don't own grocery stores, so we need things to nourish our bodies. We don't have that. You know what I'm saying? I grew up in Inglewood in Chicago, and to actually get fruits and vegetables, you had to leave the neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? You had to travel east to get to High Park, you know what I'm saying, to get fruits and vegetables. So things of that nature. We need our own shops, anything from sweatshops all the way down to cutting and sewing shops. We need everything for us and by us. That's what I believe pro-black is being, the action that you take to uplift your people. We invest in a lot of brands that's not about us. You know, like Dior, that's a European last name. You know what I'm saying? Christian Dior is a European last name. We got Gucci, Louis Vuitton, those are European last names. But when you wear somebody's last name, whether it's an African last name or a black last name, we're not talking about Smith or Jones. That's pro-black, you know what I'm saying? Like doing everything for the community, by the community, and also putting the community before any other community. So we support everybody else because we have self-hatred. So, but I personally believe like being pro-black, that notion should be taken away completely, because that means I can claim that I'm pro-black, but Kam might not say she's pro-black, and you might not say you pro-black. So that means that y'all anti-black. So why do you have to put pro in front of it? Right. You know what I'm saying? To make it relevant. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, like I feel like every other community, they just say they white, Mexican.
You don't have to be pro-white.
Right. We ain't gotta be pro, you know, so it's like, yeah, we the only group of people who have that definition, and it's for a reason.
Yeah, I'm not against getting rid of it. Shout out to No Designer Podcast. It made me think about that when you were talking about the European clothing brands versus the black clothing brands. No Designer Podcast covered that a lot too. So shout out to Will Duncan on the board. So No Designer Podcast. But I do think that the whole pro-black thing, it came for a reason. As much as I would say like, yeah, it's something we do need to get rid of. But the root reason why is because a lot of people don't do what's best for the community, and that's kind of where the term come from. I think integration got a lot to do with that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know, it's just so much that break down the mentality of black people from the time that we got here. But I do think the biggest thing of it is us not having a nation, right? And I talked about that on this podcast multiple times. But when you don't have a nation, it is really hard to overcome anything. And the reason why I say that is because, like, I was talking to a African guy, and he was asking me why people, like, on the gangbanging side, why people so die hard over blocks that they don't own and their parent don't own and shit like that. Right. And I'm like, when you really think about it, it kind of makes sense, right? You Ghanaian, you take pride in being Ghanaian because 100%. You can link yourself back to that far. You know what I'm saying? And it's not even far for you because it's your parents. Right. So you can link yourself back to that. You got pride in that, right? Everybody on the planet has some type of pride in where they come from. Right. But if you don't know where you came from as far as a nation, but you know you from 53rd, right? That's what you're gonna have pride in. That's your identity. Right. It's directly attached to that because you don't have America don't love you. You don't have no native country to attach yourself to. All you really have is where you grew up.
See, in my opinion, when you said you don't have a native country to attach yourself to, you do.
Okay.
When you look at Kenya, they always say, I want my black brothers and sisters to come home. They just open the whole Kenya up for us to develop Kenya because it's difficult to get credit lines here. Yeah. It's difficult for your credit score to stay up unless you just got bread. They don't give us loans like that. They're not giving us over 50K. Yeah. If you got over 100K, it's because you're doing some wild shit. You know what I'm saying? Or you got parents that got money.
Yeah.
So when you actually do have a place where you can come and build, America's falling. We hustling, going hard to get what's going on here under our belt, but we got a whole continent that's rocking with us and asking us to come home. Y'all just don't research it. You know what I'm saying? If you research it, you'll be able to determine whether you can make that move for yourself or not. Okay. You know what I'm saying? The money triples out there. So if you want to build a 5-bedroom, 2-3 bathroom home, it's only $40,000. Now here it's $250,000 plus.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? To build from scratch. But that just goes with the ignorance that we have. And that's what the culture lacks. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm here to actually do, is to take people back home so they can understand where they from. How you look, you can determine what tribe you come from. You can walk on African soil and determine where you from. People just don't take the time out to do that. Everybody that been to Tulum, Cancun, it ain't nobody been back to Africa because it's a bad connotation. But every African y'all look at past 18, they balling out of control because they bite the bullet early and then they turn up later on. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, if you want to come home, you can come home. It's nothing but a move. You know what I'm saying? So, eventually, you have to realize, this is your home. America's not our home. It don't matter how hard you hustle, you fall on your back some type of way. I guarantee you not. I got scoliosis. I got a knee problem. I had cancer, and I beat all of it because I went back home. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Everything releases when you get home. Everything is fresh. You have fruit in your backyard. You got, land all over the place, bro. That you can own for a little bit of nothing, and people will man your land for you because you got the income. The whole point of us being here was to work hard and send that shit back home. Send it back home where you belong. And they welcome you. It's not you know what I'm saying? They what are you doing here? All the negative connotation, that's to keep us divided, just like they do with the black man and the black woman. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Give her money so she can feel superior, but she spends all the money on self or congratulating herself at her new job, or, you know what I'm saying? And the man, he trying to side with her or figure out what we can do together, or he doing this thing, but it's no community amongst men for real. Right. So now we got, you know what I'm saying, what they call simps, or individuals who they trying their best, but they have no partnership, whether it's with their homies or with their lady. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And it's unloyalty here. It's different back home. I mean, it's unloyal here. People are unloyal here, but when you back home, your whole life can change. You know what I'm saying? In a blip. So, I beg to differ because I'm on both sides. I'm too African for the Americans, and I'm not African enough for the Africans. So I'm right in the middle. You know what I'm saying? So I don't speak my native language, but I understand my native language. And the way I present myself and carry myself around our people, our Black American people, they think I'm stuck up or I'm funny acting because I know who I am.
Right. Okay. Okay. So how do that work though? Damn, I got a lot of questions on what you just said. I got a million questions on what you just said, but going off the last thing, how do that look back in Africa? 'Cause I went to college with you. I kind of know how that look here as far as the stigma that come with being African or Africans being arrogant and shit like that. Right. We know what that look like in America, but how do that look when you go back to Africa as far as, do they feel like are they looking at you the same way because you got this American upbringing or what?
Right. So, it's just like when you in somebody else's hood. Yeah. They know you don't belong in this hood. Right. You know what I'm saying? So they know you don't belong, but the difference between that is it is the hood. So, Africa has its slums, but also it has its beauty. So you got mansions, you got
everywhere,
unlimited pools, you got, you know what I'm saying? You have buildings taller than the Sears Tower. You know what I'm saying? It's so many elements to that. But getting back on the topic, the perspective at hand, they just most welcome you. So the people who are not for you, you shouldn't worry about.
Yeah.
You feel me? But the people who are for you, that's who you rock out with. So it's the same thing here. You know what I'm saying? A lot of us don't have African friends. We might got one or two, but that gap needs to close. It needs to be more than that. You know what I'm saying?
For sure. All right. Let's move on to the next topic though. So, how do you feel like the lack of culture that we have here, as far as like what we just said, not feeling connected to the nation, not feeling connected to homeland, morals, just regulations for ourselves, our behavior, and our life decisions. Right. How do you feel like that affect intimate relationships, like in our generation?
So you can't be what you don't see. You know, I tell people that who have children all the time, if you don't set an example for your children, they won't grow up to be what you need them to or what they're capable of being. Right. So when you are in position to have, what culture does is keep tradition in line. So regardless of what you want to do, you know what I'm saying? It's what you want to do versus what you're not doing and what you should be doing. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? So tradition just keeps things in line. When you have tradition, it's no questioning who's paying the bills or what's my role and what's her role. Yeah. Like they literally have us gone, bro. Like
I feel like when you take somebody culture away, it's so easy to manipulate the whole 100%. Population because all you gotta do is make something popular.
Yeah, or they tell you how to think. Yeah. Even if you think about the education system, when we in school, you can be a straight A student off memorization. You don't have to learn anything. Yep. They just give it to you. You got to learn this equation, learn how to read this, comprehend this, and
remember it just long enough to take a test. And then move on to the next thing.
Men don't learn like that. So now you got a lot of boys that's, you know, in a learning disability programs, or they saying they not smart enough. You know what I'm saying? But this is how women are, though. You know what I'm saying? When you think about how, like, oh, he said this, she said that. They tell stories like that every day. So their mind is wired to think in the memorization pattern. You know what I'm saying? So it's different for males. You know what I'm saying? Sure. So I think I went off topic, but
no. I'm with you.
For sure.
I want to put Kam in on this too, though. Like, how do you feel like the lack of tradition and people being able to control, whether it be the media, and I think the media is the biggest thing that makes it easier 100%. To control narratives in our community. Obviously, because we got social media right now, we got all these podcasts, and that's the biggest topics are relationships right now. For sure. And it's just becoming more and more divisive every day. Yep. You know what I'm saying? So having that tradition would be like, regardless of what the fuck I saw on the news, what I saw on TikTok, whatever, I know what the fuck I'm supposed to do because this is already wired into my brain.
Exactly.
What I'm supposed to do. So Kam, how do you feel like that's affecting us right now?
Honestly, I think that it has a lot to do with the media, but also like everything just branches from slavery, period. The whole slavery thing, like the women being in the house, if that was going to be the case, or being in the field, the men, of course, having more like harder jobs and then slaves get free. Cool. Black people, not free. We're never free. Right, but, you know, we can start doing little other things that we wouldn't have been allowed to do in them chains. So that's cool. But now we have the black woman. Now the black woman, the black men got their rights to vote, to blah, blah, blah. But now we have the black women fighting for their rights to vote, to work, to make some money, to have a bank account, to do things on their own. So I do think that there was a blurred line once women did get those rights. I think it did put us in a very superior mindset because we went without for so long. So I do think that it needs to start right there. Like the encryption is within there for the black man and the black woman to come back together and realize that it's okay to be able to do these things and still maintain a traditional partnership. Yeah. Women are so hell bent on like, I can do this shit by myself. Like I can do that myself. I got my own money. Like I got my own, but it's like, I need a nigga. I need a man, period. And a lot of women aren't even willing to fix their mouths to say that. They're willing to find all the reasons why they don't need a man. For sure. And that's where that's what makes us so divisive.
For sure. And I want to comment on the women who believe that they don't need a male or a man in their life, every person that you see on the planet comes from a woman. So your number one obligation is to give birth. You have to. That's the only way we gonna stay here.
Yep.
All right.
So regardless of whether you want to say that you need a woman or a man or not, we need each other. You know what I'm saying? Like regardless of the fact, that's the only way we gonna be okay. That's the only way we gonna be all right.
Absolutely.
And I think that media knows that. Media knows that. And I'm not one of those people that's like, oh, I'm not with the, you know what I'm saying? I'm all down for people being who they are. If you're lesbian, you're gay, you're this, you're that. But we understand now how the media is trying to push this down our throats.
Sure.
And it's kind of uncontrollable for the black community, because the black community is that community that spends time pushing their kids off 100%. Instead of bringing their children in. Yeah. So when you're pushing your kids off, you don't know what they're digesting. Yeah. You don't know what they're watching. You don't know what they're seeing. And they're taking these things and they're going to apply this to their life as they get older. And now this is their way of living, when you should have been sitting them down, teaching them exactly how they should. I say it with my kid all the time. Every time I upload my kid doing anything, folding towels, helping me cook, wash dishes, whatever, my same caption: train up a child the way you want to see the child to go. Period. You can't. Sure. You can't just have in your head like, oh, my child's going to be brilliant when she grows up. What am I doing to nurture that brilliance? What am I doing to make sure that you are brilliant?
Yeah.
So,
and black women have that really bad. Black women spend so much time having kids for these niggas, spend so much time having kids because, oh, this gonna keep him. Then you end up resenting your kid, and you was never really ready to give your all to someone else. You want to still be outside. You want to still be in a club. You want to still be looking for niggas. It wasn't the time for you to have this child because you're not ready to pour into this child.
Exactly.
And that's where we drop the ball every time.
For sure. And another perspective, tradition that I can hit on, by me being Ghanaian, I'm half, so I'm Nigerian and Ghanaian. My mother is Nigerian and my father is Ghanaian. So when you look at the perspective at hand, you never, like with the black community, you get put out at 18 or 16, 14, 13, depending on your situation. Yeah. In an African household, you can't, most of the time, like now, because modernization is here, so a lot of Africans are, right after college, they doing their thing. You know what I'm saying? They say they bred, they credit on point, their parents looked after them. In the black community, you get put out early, like I said, but in the African community, most of the time, if you're not married, you can't go buy your own shit. Like, and it makes sense. Think about how much money you make. Number one, think about how many Africans are in tech now, making $100,000, but they still with their parents until they find a wife or a husband. Yeah. So now we got $100K coming in. Pop's most definitely making $150K plus. OG making $150K plus. She a nurse. He might, you know what I'm saying, might be an engineer or whatever the case may be. And we always stay in that STEM, science, engineer, math, and IT. Yeah. Shit that makes sense. Yeah. Black African Americans, what happens is that they go to school for communications or humanity or social, you know what I'm saying?
Social
shit
work,
shit don't
justice,
make sense. So, you know, we got to stay understanding, like, how can we stay in competition with everyone else? Because we're so far behind, it don't make no sense.
Yep.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, just stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? We got to make it make sense. And we got to understand what's the point of an LLC, or what's the point of taking your real name and making your real name an LLC. So when you put your name in this cable, you know what I'm saying, you can get them that social instead of your real social. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's just small things like that that they got one up on that we don't. You know what I'm saying? So it's just, you know what I'm saying? Like, I got the best of both worlds, so I can stand on the corner with the guys or hood motherfuckers that I know, but I can actually go back home and be in the village with my family and vibe out. Yeah. Eating good, living good. So, you know what I'm saying? It's, you know.
I think intentional parenting is a big, intentional parenting is something that, like, we lack in our community a lot. And, like, when I watch, like, a lot of people who I do be around, with, like, younger kids especially, they only talk to their kids when they in trouble.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, all right, go play the game, and you hit some shit fall. So it's like you kind of train them to, like, I got to do something wrong to get attention.
Yeah.
Because if you just chilling, you know, moms and pops, they in the room, you in your room, you doing what the fuck you want to do until you fuck up. Then it's like, then I get the attention. So imagine growing up with that subconscious. Is that like I got to do wrong to get attention? You know what I'm saying? And I think that that's not, you know, what nobody want for their kid. And I don't think it's intentional with nobody and their kid. It just be like, shit, motherfuckers be, and I get it, some motherfuckers be having long days at work and this shit, kids be talking too much and shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Shit
that's
like
real
that.
Talk.
But so I get it, but at the same time, that's why I say it got to be intentional, because it's not always something you're going to want to do. You're not going to always want to just sit and talk with your kid or whatever the case may be. And that shit might sound bad, but it's fucking realistic, G. Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? So you do got to be intentional on like, this is what we learning this week. And you might not have to be explicit with it, telling your kid like, this is what we finna learn this week, but it's just something that you know, you got to be on top of. Like, you know, my son right now, our biggest thing is like being in the mirror, like appearance, like all the time. Like for you, like everything got to be on point. Like that's our biggest, cause now, like by yourself though. Yeah. Cause he was so used to me doing it for him that it's like now you gotta go look in the mirror by yourself, figure out what's wrong, and fix this shit, and give a fuck about how you look. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you got to.
So like that's a big thing. And then moving on to like we finna start working out in the morning, and you know, having routines of like getting up early as fuck. Like I wake up at 5, you finna wake up at 5. Right. You know what I'm saying? And you finna do your own routine while I do my shit. You know, so
the right way.
It's a lot, but that shit ain't easy, bro, to add into your life when you already got a full plate of shit to do. So I do think being intentional about parenting and that shit being a job as well, because that's the one that's gonna pay. You're gonna get the most return on investment doing that job than any other job. You know what I'm saying? So
facts.
Yeah, man, that's a big one. We touched on a lot of shit. I want to talk about Kenya more. I don't even know where to start. Kenya is East Africa, right? Okay. And you say they open up the country for black people to just be able to come back, buy real estate,
whatever you want to do, and that's the difference. So Ghana had the year return, and we had opened our borders so you can come and get your citizenship, and there was a lot of people that came. So I don't know if y'all realize, like in December it'd be like
it was a
crazy
lot
in Ghana, like so all of the celebrities got their citizenship, dual citizenship. They got but the issue was that you cannot, the president said if you're not Ghanaian descent, you can't buy property here, because the problem we having is that the Chinese are like Asian people are coming in and trying to buy up Ghana and like build on the land. But we waiting on y'all to come to the crib so we can really, really build. You know what I'm saying? Bro. So they dominating here in the U.S. and they dominating back at the crib where we supposed to be at.
And that just goes to show our lack of education, because
that's my point.
when I remember when people was in Ghana and it was and all black people was sitting up online saying was, damn, everybody in Ghana, I ain't going there. Now everybody done been there now. You wasn't going anyway. Because if you were, you would know why they're there, what they're doing.
Didn't hear about none of that.
Yeah, it was a lot of people in Ghana
now
at once.
Kenya, they want you to actually come and they letting you build. So it's like, if Boogie, all the bros in the back right here, me, you, Kam, the whole FC network, if y'all wanted to build the FC network studio in Ghana right now or in Kenya right now, y'all can. And that'll expand like FC network. You know what I'm saying? It's just small shit that we don't think about. You know what I'm saying, that we can really be doing. Like it's not only, it's not, it don't have to just be this. You know what I'm saying? Like we can really do this. Like, and it all it is a visit. Like I could take you this year and then take FC Network next year. And y'all can see, you know what I'm saying?
I'm actually supposed to be going to Ghana in December.
This December.
For my godbrother is full Ghanaian.
Okay,
and he's getting married there.
Yeah, that's gonna be a vibe. She gonna get married when she go.
That's what's up. All right, so let's do some takeaways.
That'd be crazy.
Let's do some takeaways from this episode, man. Like, what's gonna be our major takeaways from this episode? Because I do think that what we talking about right now is an uphill battle. It's a 20, 40 year project. It's not something that's gonna change overnight as far as like us having a culture. Because it's like, I don't even know where that starts. It might start with going home. And I'm a nigga who always was just into Black history, like, and into the sociology of just like what happened to Black people over the years and a solution for it. And I talked to different people who own businesses around Black mental health and all these things, like violence prevention, like especially my violence prevention people, because it's like violence is a part of human nature. It's just we want to control it. We don't want it to be completely out of control, but it's
Right.
at the same time, like, you're not finna stop violence. It's just a part of human nature. You're not finna stop crime. Crime is like, it's a part of human nature. Like,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? But we do wanna like stop shit from happening to kids. We do want to stop shit from happening to innocent people. We do want to stop crime from being the cool thing to do or the
Right.
norm to do. You know what I'm
Protect our
saying?
elders.
Like, yeah, we
wanna,
don't want
like,
it to
get
be
back
like
to that.
this is just what kids is learning to do.
Yeah.
We want to change all of that. However, it's like, where do you start? And when I think about, you know, a lot of people talk about respectability politics.
Right.
That's like one of my least favorite things to hear when people talk about like, oh, it's how we present ourselves. Or I saw a girl who had a college graduate hat on with gold teeth. And she took the picture smiling with the gold teeth, and people was like, damn, like, why the fuck y'all wanna
Why you want to be
glorify being
hood and why you want to?
But my thing is like,
That's
when we was
a culture.
walking around in shirts and ties, they was spraying us with fucking water hoses and sicking dogs on us. So they
100%.
never gave a fuck
Yeah,
about
that's a fact.
how
Yep.
professional you looked or didn't
Yep.
look. Like
It
that
doesn't
shit
matter.
the hate was on 10 back then.
It
That
don't
shit was
matter.
10
Didn't make a
times worse.
difference.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's not about how you present yourself or what your culture is. And then even when you talk about the money, when we did figure it out and we had Black Wall Street, and there was another one.
Burn
And
this up.
it's fucked up that we only talk about Black
Tulsa,
Wall Street.
Oklahoma.
That was Tulsa, Oklahoma, but there was another one. It started with an A. I can't think of the name of it. I'm mad I can't think of the name of it. But it was doing they was doing their thing too. It was somewhere else.
Yeah.
I think it was on the East Coast. But in both cases, the same shit happened. As
Right.
far as that shit got tore down and dismantled, and it was very intentional the way it happened. It was
Right.
very guerrilla warfare. There was no strategy of redlining and putting crack in the neighborhood. It was just like, nah,
Burn
we
that
finna-
shit down.
We finna like, oh, y'all figured it out, huh?
Yeah.
We finna
Bombs,
burn
burn it
the
down.
fuck
Sure.
So it's like, damn, right now we fighting to build the next Black Wall Street, and it's like, well, look what happened to the last one. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Like, so do we just need to get the fuck up out of here? Because that was Marcus Garvey's whole thing was like, bro,
Yeah.
like I'm over here.
American and African diaspora.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And
for sure.
I fucked with Marcus Garvey because that nigga had a bag. Like
Yeah.
Martin and Malcolm was running around here trying to, you know,
Yeah.
get us to do shit, but them niggas was broke as shit. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? And like, no
Legit,
disrespect to them, but Marcus Garvey was like, nigga, look, I got the bag, I got fucking ships, I
What
got
we doing?
newspapers.
Yeah.
Let's get the fuck up out of here. You know what I'm saying? The niggas was
Yeah.
not trying to hear
Not
that
trying
shit.
to go. Like,
You know what I'm saying? So is that the answer though?
I feel like personally, you can't change adults. They got to see the light they self. You start with the children, and that's
Yeah,
why I
that's
give back,
facts.
because it's like you can't change an adult's mind. Like it don't like our elders is dying from cancer left and right. People are getting sick and they don't want to change their ways. You know what I'm saying? Children, you can mold and shape their minds. You know what I'm saying? Like for example, like libraries aren't really a big thing no more.
Yeah.
You know, so I want to make that a big thing again.
Yeah.
So, you know, and then also like overseas and here in America, you know, I want to make that a thing again because it's like they getting rid of libraries. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
but going back into the topic, it's like the children are the future. So if you invest in them, you invest into your future. Just like you just said, being a parent, if you don't show, you know, your boy X, Y, and Z, how can he know? You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's just that's the foundation of fixing the issue. Like
Yeah.
that's where the foundation can start, and then you build up from there.
Absolutely. All right, man. You got Cam's Corner for us?
I do not have Cam's Corner today. Why do I not have Cam's Corner today, Terry?
Because we ain't make it.
Because I didn't know that this is going to be the topic today.
I mean,
But
yeah,
honestly,
sometimes
I
freestyling.
can just use Cam's Corner just to say that I'm glad that this was the topic. I definitely hope that a lot of people tune into this. I think that we, like Terry said, like it's not an overnight process, but I definitely think that we do have a nice, large collective of Black people that are getting the right idea.
For sure.
And I think that if that group of Black people would channel that energy to the youth,
Right.
I think that changes can definitely be made.
Immediately, for sure.
One of the things that you said early on was about self-hatred. And that's a huge part of why Black people have a hard time supporting Black businesses or other
sure.
Black people. I have literally, like, people say it all the time online. Other fucking businesses fuck up.
All the time.
Multi-million-dollar
McDonald's
companies
ice
fuck
cream
up.
never
Never work. Do we call the Better Business Bureau on them? Do we do? No, we
come
don't.
Back and ask tomorrow.
We go down the street to the other McDonald's because, I'm just gonna. Fuck it, it's cool. All right, no problem. But let your local girl selling her boutique clothes, let her fuck up your order. You all on Facebook with a million things to say to tear her business down. You run straight to Yelp to give a negative review. You run it, and that's just because I think that Black people, the self-hatred that resides in some of us, we hate to see our people doing better than us.
100%.
And I think that is what makes us talking about this so good. I think that some people are going to watch this right now. And if you're one of those people that really have a hard time supporting your people, I think that you need to take a look inward. And hopefully some of the things that we said today will allow you the opportunity to do that. 100%. Kam's Corner.
I don't know, man. I usually try to close the show up with something decent. And I like to, this is a topic that I like to get into. We don't get to have these conversations a lot because it is a relationship show. I was thinking about starting another show called Inner City Podcast where we talk about this a lot more with education. But I kind of want to see if I can infiltrate this audience a little bit more with it because, again, it's like when we talk about all of the problems in the Black community and all of the great things that we doing, it all kind of come down to relationship at the end of the day. Yep. Like, because the union between a Black woman and a Black man and a Black child is like the foundation of everything. You know what I'm saying? And it's, again, I say this shit all the time. We can be the best Black real estate owners and buy the whole block. We can have all the stocks in the world. We can have the fucking crypto and all this other shit, all the businesses. If you don't have that family structure and that union to pass that shit down properly, it really don't fucking matter. Like, because all that shit's gonna fall apart the day you die. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, this shit is probably some of the most important, not even probably, this is the most important topic that should be being talked about. I'm glad we got the opportunity to talk about it. I'm glad you came on the show to shed more light. I definitely didn't know that Kenya opened up their doors to us and that it is a place that we can go and kind of build. I do want to get more into that as far as like, fuck it, we got time. Because look, I was reading a study, and this is what came to mind. It was in Liberia, and it was about how Liberia kind of did the same thing. They allowed a lot of Black people to come back, and it became an issue because, and the study is out there. I can't think of the name of it, but if you Google this shit, it's gonna pop right up. It became an issue because our Western ways was so strong and indoctrinated on us that we came over there and was looking at them like, why are y'all doing shit like this? It's supposed to go like this. For sure. And we ended up doing to them what white people did to us and taking over their country and making and really fucked up everything they had going on. Right. You know what I'm saying? Because the fucked up part about it is, they talk about, I heard somebody say humans were a virus. Legit. Right? Like we kill the earth. Like wherever we go, whatever part of the earth we touch, we begin to kill it. I don't think it's all humans. I think it's a specific group of humans that have taken over society in most places and advanced technology and then the Industrial Revolution, all of this shit that's killing the planet. That shit kind of started with a specific group of people that ended up taking over the earth, right? And that is what it is. You know what I'm saying? And that's not me hating white people or no shit like that, but that's just the facts of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, since white people have been in control of the resources of the earth, it's gotten worse and worse. The condition of the actual planet I'm talking about, like global warming, all of this shit, like, cause nothing's natural. Everything is all this technology, is all this. And don't get me wrong, it make our life easier. Yeah, we benefit from the shit. I wouldn't, if it wasn't for that shit, we wouldn't even be talking on this fucking podcast.
Yeah, they don't make none of this.
So
shit.
I'm not trying to. You're right. They
don't make none of this.
I'm not trying to just completely shit on them, but that's just part of the truth as well. Yeah. But I say all that to say that if we do go back. What does that look like? And that's something I would like to see, but I hope that we wouldn't go back and fuck up what they got going on because we so stuck in our ways and how we think shit's supposed to go. Right. You know what I'm saying? And we go over there with the money, with the resources and say, oh, well, we building y'all shit up, so we should have some say so. But our say so is so tainted by their say so. You know what I'm saying? Like, what you think about that?
So, one thing I would say is you have to let go of your mind that's here, number one. So you got to be patient and you got to understand what it takes to build. So as a foundation, here we have industrial machines, we got technology, you know what I'm saying? They do too, but it's not as vastly growing as it is here in the United States. You know what I'm saying? They purposely do that on purpose. So we still got men that got factories that's taking gravel and building bricks out of it and putting it on the pallet, and we got the pallet jack to move it out. You got a crane in the United States that can pick that up and swing it and move it. You feel me? Or, you know what I'm saying, machines that make it. So we still are working, manually? Yeah. Versus, you know, the other way. So it's like, so we gotta be patient, number one. Number two, you do your research before you go. So it's already people like myself that's developers that have set teams that you can work with to actually get it done. Right. You know what I'm saying? So it's not about, the mindset is slowly die, because I feel like the U.S. has our mind, but it doesn't have our body, right? We keep the body. Mm-hmm. But if we go over there and we eat well and we treat ourselves well, our mind eventually come back. That virus or that cancer that we talking about, that's stuck, it have to go. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, that was just people that probably went to, you said Liberia, right? Yeah,
and it's probably because they all came together and stayed in a pack together.
So that's that cancer. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like that group of people who, you know.
And even though, I obviously don't know because I've never been and I'm not of that ethnicity culture, but I would like to think that the people that are willing to go over there would not be the people that's gonna fuck it up. I would like to think that. I would like to think that. But you never know, but I would like to think that.
I think those people in that particular study went over there with great intentions. It's just that when they saw what they saw, they was like, all right, well, it started off with the little shit, right?
Thought they could help.
Like, oh, well, why don't we just put a space heater in here? Instead of doing it, instead of having a fire. That's dangerous. It started off with the little shit, and then you start to change everything.
And then it's like, now y'all, you know what I'm saying? Trying to be America.
Everything is the way it is for a reason. For sure. So you try to make things more convenient for you in a way that it taught you, and now you looking at everything that way. Like, oh, why are they learning this way? Why don't they learn like this? Mm-hmm. Why don't they use a fucking tablet instead of a book? And now you end up turning that into this. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I think people have good intentions, but it's just, they were just so stuck in their ways, and they stayed in kind of like their own little pack. Yeah, to where 100%. Like they didn't spread out to where they was immersed in the culture. They was still immersed in themselves and ended up becoming that virus, I guess. So that's unfortunate. But
I was going go ahead. If I may, any of y'all got any questions about Africa? Because when I was talking about it, you know what I'm saying, I just want to hear what y'all got to say. You know what I'm saying? Oh, y'all don't have no mics.
You can throw a question. I'll just repeat it.
Okay, yeah. So whatever question y'all got. That's what's up. From where? That's what's up. Yeah. Okay.
For sure. Yes. Yeah. Definitely.
No, don't trip. Like that's a
You'll be surprised at how many people don't know.
They don't know.
Don't know.
Because it's not a thing to think about until it comes.
Until the time comes.
You know what I'm saying?
So anyway, I think the only place we go is Puerto Rico.
Yep, without one.
That's because it's in Hawaii. Yeah. Yep. So
leave him alone.
We got ties, you know, so
I was just saying we're gonna do FC Network next year in Puerto Rico. Did I tell y'all that?
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Now I'm thinking Kenya, shit.
Legit.
Yeah, I'm with Kenya. I ain't gonna lie. Yeah. Granted that my brother did just move to Puerto Rico though. Yeah. My brother and his family just moved to Puerto Rico and shit. Sure. But I'm with the Africa shit.
All right, man. We gonna wrap this one up, man. I hope y'all give us a lot of feedback on this episode.
Yes, please.
I kind of want to extend this conversation to all the listeners. So if y'all got any questions, I do have a Discord that's up and running. So DM me on Instagram at Terry Roseland. Get the information for the Discord. I got a Patreon that's up and running. I'm gonna switch to Patreon though. It's $5. I'm gonna just make it free for the first 100 people, because who want to be the first nigga in there
that paid $5
and there's no one here? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Be like, Patreon, one follower. Damn, it's me. I'm the one follower.
It's like when you hop on somebody live on accident. This is you and them.
It's just you. You be like,
you feel seen as fuck.
you just lock your shit real quick. Like, damn, I hope they didn't see me. You know they saw you. Nobody else was in there. Like,
For real though.
Like you close that bitch out so fast.
so quick.
So another thing I'm gonna say is we need to get more Africans on FC Network. Like just so y'all get some more spiel of like how Africa works.
Valid.
And, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Y'all know what's going on, man. All my
Period.
Nigerians-
Tell Baba Tunde to come on in here. Ain't that his name for real?
Yeah,
Period.
all my Nigerians, Ghanaians, Kenyans, you know what I'm saying?
Not Peter.
Everybody come to FC Network.
For sure, man.
Peter.
Definitely. Everybody's definitely welcome. You know what I'm saying, from the diaspora
Definitely.
for sure. And
I mean,
I knew that word already.
I mean,
I knew that word already.
his ass finna be saying some more shit.
Hey man, we
T'Challa.
out. Fuck y'all. Yeah.
King T'Challa.
We were not having
He about to have an accent to mine and shit.
For sure.
He about to be
Hey,
texting your phone
them
like, how
niggas-
you say,
All that.
how you say.
I can't say
sure.
diaspora. Damn.